And now there's a progress bar. Exciting.
It's happening.
Preparing to live stream. Setting up your meeting. I don't know if this part is recorded or not.
It says meeting is now streaming to live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're now live on the internet.
Wow. Hi, Sean.
Hi. So I need to now get people into the room. So pardon that little bit of business. Okay. So now that URL should be active and live, and we've got one person watching us. Hey,
one person. We love our fans.
Maybe that one person is me. I don't know, but
gonna share this.
I'm so excited, folks, to be here with you again for this is our third episode of Being Honest or Ben Honest or whatever it is that we've chosen to pronounce.
Having been honest. I think that's good.
That is the correct. Yeah, we were honest. Now we are not honest, I guess.
No, we're fine.
Take that to our logical conclusion.
We're all good. Sean, who are you?
I'm Sean, and I am a teacher here at PSUGD, and I am joined, as always, by my two co-hosts, Cielle Charron from Secret Room, who I'm going to spotlight here. There we go.
There's Nagini.
And I'm also being joined live from Jiffy Lube. Kate Bingaman-Burt.
It's me. I'm hanging out at the Jiffy Lube. I definitely couldn't have done this at past Be Honest, but this year I can absolutely get my brakes fixed, which is a very good thing. So yeah, hanging out here, having fun at the Jiffy Lube.
Check in really periodically with who the guys in the back there fixing your car.
Yes,
they're fun.
I wish I could get some sponsored content and get paid for this, but we'll work on that next time. Next year.
Jiffy Lube. If you need your car repaired,
what's their tagline? Like in and out in a minute or something?
Let me see.
That's pretty good.
It's not in there anywhere.
I don't see it. It's Jiffy Lube Multi-Care, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's a bad tagline.
You were giving us a Jiffy Lube tour earlier, and I was rather astounded that there seemed to be 8 screens all showing Jiffy Lube content. I'm gonna actually spotlight you so people can see the many screens showing many Jiffy Lube facts. This is Jiffy Lube Control Central, where they control their space shuttle from, I guess.
But we're not here to talk about Jiffy Lube facts. We're here to talk about past Be Honest facts, Sean.
Yes, Jiffy Lube is for our own Jiffy Lube cast that we only have.
It's a very popular channel.
Yeah, it's on a different channel.
New podcast.
We are here to talk about the folks who helped make Be Honest happen from 2010 to 2020, and we've actually got a pretty big swath of that represented in our room today. So I'm going to give you a kind of big overview of all these folks. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
I know. So good to see all your faces.
And I wanted to kind of introduce. We'll really let you introduce
yourselves.
And, talk about what year you started off and what year you worked on and where that took you, where
you're calling us from, all that good stuff. What you've been up to since you've left Portland State.
Yeah, and I wanted to start us off first in the list with Chris.
Oh, okay. Nervous. I'm trying to remember. I want to say maybe I helped out with like 2014, 2015.
You did, because you were 2014 because you introduced us to the world of NC Laser Labs.
Oh, that's right. I got a job there because of Be Honest. Because I did like a letterpress apprenticeship with someone that I actually met on it was like what were they called? We used to do field trips, and we went to Wyden once. And I met this guy named Archie, who was like a copywriter, and he had his own
because he had his own letterpress. It was because he still does it. Archie.
Archie's other.
That's right. Oh, with Cielle. Yeah. I completely forgot.
But I still get emails from Archie's Press.
Archie's Press is relocated to New York City, and he has a full-time job making all those beautiful letterpress maps.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I worked in like a space with him, and these dudes, MC Laser Labs, they worked upstairs. And they just saw me printing one day, and they like allowed me to basically use all their scraps, and they like did all this like CNC cutting and like laser engraving for us. And I think Seth Gale, he designed like all the patterns on the back of it.
And I remember that you busted your butt so hard on all of this wayfinding, and you also, I think, hand peeled back like every single little piece.
Oh yeah.
It was a very laborious process for you, Chris. And like everything that you do, you always put like 110% into it. And I still like, oh, that wayfinding was so gorgeous. And those boards are still floating around. Let me tell you.
Right.
Especially
Built to last.
The freestanding bathroom signs. I know we have one of them, and one of the other program areas took the other one, and I see it every once in a while in FMH. Just kind of like,
funny.
Oh well, there it is.
Repurposed them for Fresh before, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Right on.
So good, Chris. So what are you doing now?
Now I'm at Chiat Day in Los Angeles. Senior designer there. I started like mid-January and just worked like crazy for like, honestly, like a month and a half. And I was like bouncing between like different corporate housing places. And then I landed like here where I live now. And then we went into quarantine, and it's just been like, honestly, the weirdest experience where it's like, right now I'm super busy. I've been working until like 3 a.m. And there's other like a couple of weeks where like I didn't do anything. Like I was just like learning how to use like Cinema 4D and After Effects all day. So yeah, it's been weird. I think before that I was at AKQA for like maybe 3.5, 4 years. And then like through them, like I got to work at Apple for like a summer. That's been pretty much it for me since graduating.
So good, Chris. So good. And actually, I know that you and some of your colleagues just reached out to the program about wanting to do like talks and feedback. And I just think that's one of the coolest outcomes with all of our alumni kind of going all over the place is just these other connections, because we've never had connections with Chiat Day in LA. And now I feel like we have a really good connection now because of you, Chris, because of how much, like, I feel like, you know, I worked with you in class, and then also just on Be Honest, I feel like I got to know you really well through that experience. And so now I feel really good about sending students. I don't know. It's nice. Cool. I really like how this network just keeps growing and morphing and changing. So rad. Thank you. Thank you for putting everyone in contact. And I look forward to seeing what comes from that too, for sure.
Yeah, I'll check in for Fresh for sure.
Yes. Just got to do that real damn soon.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of awesome folks here right now. I'm so proud of this group. I also wanted to turn things over to Allison. Allison, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Allison, Allison Berg. I graduated in the 2012 class. So my Be Honest years were, I think, my junior and senior year, 2011, 2012. So I think the first one was at the Cleaners.
Oh yeah.
The first one was at Ford Food and Drink, and then the
first one that I was at,
for you was the Cleaners,
and then the last one I remember was the old instrument space.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And,
I have a lot of fun party photos of you holding piñatas and things.
yeah, we went really crazy with like, we must have like just gotten Litman's permissions, actually. And I just remember that. I remember that trip pretty vividly.
Because it's like a dream come true.
Yeah. So yeah, graduated in 2012. Did freelance illustration for about a year, and then started at Wieden and Kennedy, and I will be there 7 years in the fall.
My gosh,
and
amazing.
Eligible for a sabbatical, and that feels like the weirdest thing to say ever.
That's so
cool.
Yeah. So good. That's awesome, Allison. And you've been such a nice contact for us at Wieden too, just because you've been there for so long now. And also you've seen us like with the transition of having Be Honest start at Wieden.
Totally.
Like, I think it was 2014 was the first year, because Chris was on that team.
Yeah.
And then if it weren't for the quarantine, we'd be there today. But it's been a really nice like relationship with that studio because they just let us do whatever we want to do. So that I always love that.
And so many people from PSU GD I've seen come through studio. Leah, we used to be there, and
I know
Corbin Lamont was there for a little bit. Yeah,
so good. Love it. Thank you, Allison.
That is so awesome. Gabi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Gabi Mckenzie. I'm in Seattle right now. I graduated in 2017. So let's see. So yeah, 2016 and 2017, I was working mainly in good market, I'd be honest. That was so fun, but also so stressful. And all you little babies are so bad at turning in your money. But it was such a fun experience to like wrangle everything.
That continues today.
It is a tradition that continues today.
I had a feeling. But yeah, it was a huge life lesson too, and just like wrangling people and being responsible for a thing. And so I found that to be really helpful later on in my career. And so yeah, I'm in Seattle now. I'm at Tommy Bahama. I'm a graphic designer on the print team.
Cool.
And I just got furloughed, so that's tight, but weird. It's okay. I know it could be a lot worse too for a lot of people, so I consider myself quite lucky. And I've been sleeping in like crazy. It's going to be so hard getting back to work. but yeah, but I look forward to going back and working on my print materials that have kind of been floating in the meantime. Yeah.
I love it. And you, Gabi, you were part of the Be Honest, the only one that I didn't attend because I was on maternity leave. Yeah, it was Jodie and Tricia and Gabi. They ran the show the one that I missed because I had a baby.
We understood why you were gone. Yeah.
I know.
It was kind of crazy though, for sure.
I do feel like I feel bad for not at least seeing it in person, but you know.
I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of similar.
No, I was on sabbatical.
And you get to
I was on sabbatical. I wasn't having a baby. I was on sabbatical. And then I had a baby. Everything, all years are just, No, I made myself not go because I was on sabbatical. And I told myself that I wasn't going to do it. And that was very difficult. So anyway, Allison, when you're on sabbatical, do not go to Whiten. Don't do it. You're not allowed. Don't do it. You're not allowed. What did you say, Leah?
Don't check your email either.
Don't check your email. No. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Who do we have next, Sean?
Next up is actually Leah.
All right.
Excellent. Leah, New York City.
I see Nico in the back.
Right now, I haven't been into Manhattan for 9 weeks now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
My name's Leah Liu. I worked on Be Honest 2013, which I think is one of the first years that we did like a full-blown campaign.
Yes.
Type of deal. And I cannot remember for the life of me if I did that in A&D projects or if it was in a class.
A&D projects was a thing.
That was a precursor.
No.
That was a precursor to A&D. A&D didn't exist. That was when it was you did that on your own, and and those posters are still floating around, like the one that Leah is holding, that Cielle's holding up right now.
I did it on my own, but I vividly remember pulling in every single person that would possibly maybe help me.
Yes, absolutely. And one of my fond memories from that year was you and Romeo basically building out the website in a full 24-hour like time period and taking shifts and not going to sleep. That was Romeo's joining us at 5:30, but I will never forget you two just being so like frantic and like trying to get that site up. It was really impressive.
I mean, if it was like a learning lesson for anything, it was that once you start working at a studio and are working on a project late nights, it's like those are the things that are gonna bond you to people in a way that I just like have never experienced in my life before. So things like Be Honest or late nights in studio, it's just like a different thing.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Look what I just found. I'm glad I scrolled down in this page of hashtags. There was just this beautiful graphic. If you haven't seen it, this is what the finished graphic looks like. But that was all shot in camera. And this
Beautiful.
is apparently what the setup looks like. I don't think I've ever seen this photo before.
This was my studio apartment in Northwest Portland, over by like Merriweather's and where Acapulco's Gold used to be. Rest in peace. Like literally would have to move everything in the apartment to take photos like this, because I believe what you're looking at now is where the bed was or should have been.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's not a small.
Well, and was this, Leah, was this one of the first kind of like partnering up that you did with Robert for photo shoot stuff? Because I'm looking at my desktop right now, which is still forever, will be my forever desktop, which is one of your collaborations that you did with your partner Robert, with all like different examples of cheese. But like I loved, like I feel like you did a bunch of photo stuff after this, and it's so
the
cool
Barbie
to kind
shoes.
Yes, that this was kind of the genesis of like that kind of relationship that happened from there. Beautiful.
So good.
Also, this was one where we got people who were upset. I remember some people were offended by the risque nature of some of the taglines. And I remember Liz and I having to run interference to make sure everyone felt good.
Really
Kate, this is now a memory that I have with you, because I seem to remember that we were going through the process of editing some of the slides out of the slideshow very quickly.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. It was
which are the most risque? Which should we take?
We gotta pull it. So it did get a little censored at times. I love it. But I also feel like that too, Leah, like that was the year where everything kind of got leveled up.
Yeah.
Where it was okay, now we like, this is that was the first year we had an actual like website like that. That was, I feel like that really kind of like set the tone for future Be Honest. And so like for that, I really appreciate kind of like the work and dedication that went into it, because that was definitely an example of like just rising tide raises all the ships, where it's like, oh shit, 2013 was amazing, we got to keep it going. And that was a big leap, I feel, from, I mean, not that the other ones weren't great, they were great, but like that was just like, oh my God, there's t-shirts, there's posters, there's an ad campaign, there's an amazing website, we got to do it.
These t-shirts floating around, I believe, from
it's
from 2013.
It's so funny. You'll appreciate this whenever, because Sean will wear that shirt sometimes and people will see that it says 2013, and current students will be like, ooh, that's so vintage. That's so old. And I'm like, oh my God.
Old.
I know. I'm like, give me a break. Like the t-shirt's brand new. Stop it.
They're very good t-shirts. I can confirm that.
Solid quality here.
Yeah.
Good stretch.
Quality shirts. I love it. Who do we have next, Sean?
Next up is Jodie. Jodie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Jodie.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Jodie Beechem. I live here in Portland. I think Tricia and I and Gabi were on the 2017 crew, and Tricia and I worked super closely doing all the graphics. I know we shot in, my boyfriend made his own mirror room, and we shot the photo shoot in his mirror room with like disco balls and like lots of sparkle, and I feel like our theme was just like sparkle. It was really, really fun. Oh yeah, and like a space blanket. Yeah.
I still have my little guy.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. And now I am a full-time designer at this here in Portland, and I do tons of freelance illustration on the side for tons of like music venues and bands in Portland, which has been super fun. I actually just finished a really cool project with, this is not music related, but with this organization called Take Back the Court, which is like working to add seats to the Supreme Court to like unpartisanize it. And it was
wow, that's awesome.
So cool to work on this project with them. And I feel like I've been like trying to be more politically activated in the past, and it feels really good to like put my art to that use like felt really, really special instead of just like talking out of my mouth. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah. So good. Awesome, Jodie. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fun to be here and hang out with everyone.
I love it. I love it. And you've been so good too, because you and your colleagues at this always like come and talk and work with students and just are very appreciative of like how giving back that whole crew is.
Yeah, and Kevin Kazu is there, who was at PSU, and Kylie was there, who's
now she's at Instrument. Yeah.
So it's been like, I feel like this is such an awesome place. I feel really lucky to be there, and especially in times like these, I'm like, oh my God, I love my coworkers, I love my bosses. I'm like so happy.
So good. So good. Thanks, Jodie.
Yeah.
Next up, Nagini, would you like to introduce yourself?
Nagini, you had an interview at 1 today. You've been doing a lot of stuff, to be honest.
I know, I was really happy. I was like, I want to feel like I'm doing it again, kind of. I'll just do a bunch of stuff today.
I love it.
Okay, let's see. My name's Nagini. You all know that. I graduated 2017. So I did Be Honest 2016 and 17. Yes, I was like, what year? But yeah, Kate, you weren't there 2017.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't there for 20, 20, whatever. But you and Sage, what I remember is, and I love this so much, is that you and Sage really took over, because we used to have, we would have one speaker come in and give a talk. And then we're like, okay, we want to switch this up a little bit. And we had you and Sage produce an entire event, which was so great, and connected you with Adam Garcia. And I just felt like it was just so fun to see how you organized all of that and, you know, bringing in, and it was just, I don't know. I loved seeing it happen. I loved how you all kind of like made it work.
That was really fun. We like, I remember that photo Sage was like, let's make this goopy stuff and you can like have it dripping off of one of our hands. And I was like, okay. And I think we took that photo like in the parking lot of Lloyd Center Mall or something. We were like, we just have to go somewhere where they won't care if we get like weird goopy stuff on the floor.
You guys were ahead of the slime trend.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
That was really fun. I remember trying to do that balloon drop at the end of that. I think that was 2016's Be Honest, because I think 2017 was the year that Sage and I were like, okay, we're just going to do our own panel discussion this year.
Exactly. Because you worked for 2 of those, because I think Adam, you worked with Adam on the 2016 one, and then you and Sage took over the show on the 2017 one, because it was Aaron Rayburn. There you are.
We were so tired because we were like, okay, we have to send a bunch of emails and meet people online and get them to trust us enough to come and talk to us in front of all these other people. And it was just really fun.
I love it.
Had a great time.
I remember one year, didn't Aaron Rayburn do like an incredible interpretive dance?
That was the balloon drop, because the concept of the Good Nervous one, because that was all based off of, I say that a lot whenever, especially with Be Honest, where students are nervous about showing their work. And I'm always like, but that's a good nervous. No one's going to get hurt. These are good nervous. You lean into that, you go for it, you do it, and you're like, oh, I love it, I could do it again. And that's good nervous. And so the concept for the show for Good Nervous was to have a bunch of different people do things that they've never done before in front of an audience, and just have it happen in front of an audience that was going to be a supportive audience. And so Aaron did an interpretive dance with the balloon drop. My friend Zach, who's a writer, decided he was going to write a stand-up set and be a stand-up comedian for 5 minutes. Anton Pearson, who was completely afraid to like speak in public, made himself like read his poetry in public. Like it was all these, and it was, none of these were students. They're all professionals that were doing things in front of students that was out of their comfort zone, making them very nervous, but yet it was a good nervous. So I don't know. I really loved it. I loved it.
Thank you. I would love to do that again sometime, but you know, whenever healthcare gets, or just like all of our health is secured.
Exactly.
And we can
Exactly.
We'll
That's so
get
good.
to have in-person events again someday.
Yeah.
Someday. I do have a feeling that
Someday.
Be Honest is going to be like this for next year though too. But hey, we got it figured out, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
We're moving and we're grooving and we're rolling. That's all you got to do.
Exactly. And then we've got Tricia.
Tricia
Leach.
Want to
Hi.
introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tricia Leach. I was involved for the 2016 one. I was the production lead, which basically meant I begged people to make buttons for like 3 weeks. That's all I did.
That's a consistent theme with Be Honest. Piles and piles of buttons.
And then for 2017, I did, oh wow, that's a flashback. For 2017, I did project management and graphics with Jodie and art direction, and I made the website too.
Yeah, which so I was saying earlier, like I did a bad thing, and I had to redirect our traditional Be Honest URL to another part of the site because we just needed to do that. And it meant that all the old sites couldn't be accessed anymore. But I was noticing actually on your portfolio, you have a live version of the site still like up and running. And it even sorts, which I think the one that's up didn't do anymore. So that's really, it's like a snapshot in time, but it's such a beautiful site.
Well, the reason I did that, I copied it over, was because I was trying to get a job as a developer. So I knew I had to have a consistent site that was there that people could access.
Yes.
And actually, I got my first job at Fuzzco right out of Fresh because of the website work I did for Be Honest and the Fresh website. So
oh my gosh,
just like so many great things came out of that year for Be Honest. And you know, I was nervous about leading it because Kate was on sabbatical, but we just had such a good crew that year. I think it was all women, and it was just like
so cool.
Yeah, Nagini and Sage just like kicked it out of the park with the show part, and Gabi just like ran Good Market all by herself. And
amazing, badasses, all of you.
Little Kate.
Yeah, it was such a good year, and I just had so much fun working with Jodie. We worked really well together, and yeah, just made all these cool shiny graphics.
So cute,
so beautiful.
Like one of the most fun things I did at PSU.
That was the year that I was away from PSU too, and I remember seeing those graphics and just being like, wow, that's gorgeous. That's some gorgeous stuff. Because I had also wanted to do hollow foil stuff at that same time.
I have to pay.
Wow, so
Jiffy Lube.
This is a very important Jiffy Lube moment.
Just read out your credit card.
Maybe I'm going to mute Kate for a little bit just so we can ensure that doesn't occur. But yeah, since we're down to our last couple of minutes, I think I wanted to kind of put this to the group. Like, we've got a whole bunch of students out there who have worked to organize this new era of Be Honest, and a whole bunch of students who are participating in Be Honest, maybe for the first time. This actually might be one of our biggest years for sophomores, I was noticing. So I was wondering, like, what advice that you would maybe give, especially to those sophomores, about this event? Like, how do you, what were your big takeaways?
For me, I think it was like to have so much fun and to experiment and do like whatever, because you're never going to have that opportunity again to like fully collaborate with your friends and to have no restrictions other than like literally cost. So I think that's, for me, was the biggest part of Be Honest, is just to show some fun things that I was excited about.
I think for me, it was just learning how to talk about my work, and all of these experiences I had really helped me with that. So I felt like by the time I was out, I had graduated, I was really comfortable talking to people. So I felt like my interviews went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, that's a big focus of Be Honest, and then later Fresh, of just like practice. Just talk about your work nonstop.
And too, I feel like it's such a feat to like put all your work in one place. Like even doing that with portfolios now, it's like, oh my God, okay, everything's in one place and you can see these like cool through lines that you didn't know existed. And you're like, oh, that's the thing that I like doing. Like I want to do more of that. And it's just so fun to like put everything all together and have it all in one place and just like blast it out into the world was really fun.
So good. So good. Everyone, my bill was $792.
Ooh.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. Being an adult is so hard.
I don't think I've ever owned a car that was worth $792. So that's quite impressive.
You're funny.
I've only owned one.
I love it. So we're getting close to the end, everyone.
Yeah. Go so fast.
Yeah, that's so
I know.
Well, I wanted to take a minute. First of all, to plug all the other stuff that's happening at Be Honest, because it's been a minute since I've done that, and we're coming into the home stretch in this 4 o'clock hour. We've actually, I think, probably hit all the events, but you might go back and check out some of the things happening on our Instagram, because I know I did an Instagram live at 3. I think Briar is doing a design history Instagram live. And I think Annexine was also going to do an Instagram live.
Yeah.
So
and then we've got a workshop coming up at 5, right?
Yeah. And the thesis presentations.
Yeah.
I am told that Kaylin, our own Kaylin, is going to be giving her thesis presentation about her car while driving around the neighborhood in her car.
Oh my God. I hope it's hands-free.
Yeah. We offered the use of a stand, but she might need to get creative.
Oh my God. I love it so much.
Involved.
I love it so much.
And I also wanted to mention too that we got one more of these happening at 5:30. So we've got one last group, but the previous videos, if you happen to miss one, are all up on our YouTube page. Just search for Portland State Graphic Design, or I guess go to psu.gd/Ben Honest, BEEN Honest. But thank you
everyone. It's so good to see your faces, and thank you so much for all that you've done to contribute to the program over the years and are continuing to do so. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you
so
so
good.
much.
Thank you so much.
So amazing.
See you later.
Good to see you.
Bye. Good to see you.
As we go on, we remember. Okay, bye.